Have you ever wondered if women might be showing interest in ways you've never noticed? Many older men believe they become invisible, but the truth is often the opposite. Women over 60 have their own subtle ways of expressing attraction, and most men completely miss the signs. Instead of bold declarations, they use simple questions that seem casual on the surface, but carry deeper meaning. Think about it. When a woman asks you something that sounds like small talk, what if she's really testing to see if you're confident, self-sufficient, and open to connection? Older women don't waste time on games. They know what they want, and they've learned how to ask the right questions to find it. This is why so many men misinterpret women's interest. A casual chat at the grocery store or senior center may feel ordinary, but it could actually be her way of evaluating your energy, outlook, and readiness for companionship. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 questions women ask when they're flirting. They're intentional, revealing, and surprisingly consistent. Question number 5 will surprise you most. It's not just curiosity, but a compliment, a test, and an invitation all at once. Romance doesn't stop at 60. If you learn to recognize these hidden signals, you'll see that you're not invisible at all. You may be more desirable than you realize. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Are you enjoying retirement? The first question might sound like harmless chit-chat, but it's one of the most revealing signals a woman can give. When she asks, "Are you enjoying retirement?" she isn't only curious about how you spend your days. She's testing your outlook on life, your independence, and even your potential as a partner. At our age, women want to know whether you're still embracing life or simply letting the years pass by. Psychologically, this question serves several hidden purposes. First, it hints at financial stability. If you're enjoying retirement, it suggests you've planned well and created a secure life for yourself. Second, it reveals how you use your time. A man who fills his days with hobbies, friendships, and learning projects comes across as energetic and attractive. A man who admits to being bored or restless sends the opposite message. And third, it shows your attitude toward aging itself. Do you see these years as a decline or as an opportunity? That perspective tells her more about you than you realize. Let me give you 2 real-life examples. At a community center, a woman named Carol asked a widower named Henry about retirement. He sighed and said, "Oh, it's fine, I guess. Nothing much going on. Just lots of time on my hands." Carol smiled politely, but the spark disappeared immediately. His answer signaled that he lacked passion, purpose, and excitement, all qualities that make someone attractive at any age. Now, compare that with another man named Robert. When asked the same question at a local cafe, he smiled and said, "Honestly, I thought I'd be restless, but it's been wonderful. I started painting again, joined a hiking group, and I've been learning how to play the piano. Keeps me on my toes in the best way." Notice how he showed joy, purpose, and curiosity. Carol's reaction was different this time. She leaned in, asked follow-up questions, and the conversation blossomed. Body language also plays a role here. If she's leaning slightly toward you, maintaining eye contact, and asking with genuine interest, that question is more than polite curiosity. She's testing whether you still have energy, drive, and the ability to live fully. Here are 3 strong ways to respond when you hear this question. First, the passion approach. Share something that excites you and makes you come alive. Second, the mystery approach. Hint at a project or activity you're working on that invites her to ask more. Third, the engagement approach. Answer briefly, then ask about her life, turning the focus back to her. The worst response is one that signals boredom or bitterness. If you sound like you've given up on this stage of life, you'll shut down the very interest she's extending to you. Instead, remember this truth. When she asks about retirement, she's really saying, "Show me that you still have a vibrant life and maybe room for someone like me to be part of it." Number 2, do you cook for yourself? This question may sound simple, but beneath the surface, it carries layers of meaning. When a woman asks, "Do you cook for yourself?" she isn't checking your recipe book. She's quietly evaluating whether you're independent, capable, and someone who can share life in a practical and intimate way. Psychologically, this is brilliant. Women who've spent decades managing households are not looking for another dependent. They want to know, can you take care of yourself? Do you know how to create a comfortable home? More importantly, are you the kind of man who could share meals, kitchens, and daily rhythms without expecting to be waited on? Cooking is about far more than food. It's about intimacy and compatibility. Let me show you how this plays out. At a bookstore cafe, a woman named Elaine asked Paul, a widower, if he cooked for himself. Paul shrugged and said, "Not really. I mostly eat out or grab frozen dinners. My wife used to do all the cooking." The conversation cooled instantly. His answer signaled helplessness, dependence on the past, and a lack of interest in building a shared life. Now, let's look at a stronger response. At a farmer's market, a woman named Patricia asked Samuel the same question. He chuckled and said, "I've been experimenting in the kitchen lately. Last week, I tried my hand at seafood risotto. Took me 3 tries, but it turned out pretty good. I enjoy cooking, though I'll admit the smoke alarm sometimes thinks otherwise. How about you? Do you enjoy trying new recipes?" Notice how Samuel displayed confidence, humor, and openness, while also turning the spotlight back to her. Patricia leaned closer, smiling, and shared her favorite dish. That single exchange built a connection that went far beyond small talk. Body language is a key clue here. If she asks with a warm smile, maybe while you're near food or in a domestic setting, and follows up by mentioning her own cooking habits, she's not just passing the time. She's imagining what life could look like with you. Here are 3 powerful strategies for answering well. First, the competent approach: show that you can handle yourself in the kitchen without arrogance. Second, the learning approach: share that you're picking up new skills and enjoying the process. Third, the sharing approach: mention how you like preparing meals for others or would love to cook alongside someone. The danger comes when a man either admits he's helpless in the kitchen or brags excessively about being a master chef. What she really wants to know is whether you're balanced, capable, yet humble, self-sufficient, yet open to sharing. The truth is, when a woman asks if you cook for yourself, she's really asking, are you someone I could feel comfortable building a life with? She's picturing quiet mornings over coffee, laughing while preparing dinner together, and the kind of companionship that feels effortless. If you listen closely, her question is less about recipes and more about romance. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Are you close to your family? When a woman asks this question, it may sound like gentle curiosity, but in truth, it's one of the most revealing tests of your character. She isn't simply asking about your children or grandchildren. She's quietly studying how you relate to others, how you handle love and conflict, and whether you're emotionally available for a new relationship. The psychology behind this question runs deep. Women understand that family dynamics often mirror how a man will treat a partner. If you speak with warmth about your family, it suggests kindness, patience, and the ability to nurture. If you speak with bitterness or disinterest, it signals unresolved wounds or even emotional distance. Consider 2 men I've seen answer this question. At a community dance, a woman asked Raymond about his family. He sighed and said, "My kids rarely call. My daughter's across the country. My son's, too, busy, and family just doesn't mean much these days." Instantly, her interest faded. His response revealed resentment, loneliness, and a closed heart. Now, compare that with Walter at a wine tasting. When asked the same question, he smiled warmly. "I'm lucky with my kids and grandkids. We're close, but we give each other space. I love that they've built their own lives, and I'm grateful to be part of it when they invite me in. Family is important, but I've learned there's plenty of room in life for different kinds of love." His answer radiated balance, love without neediness, independence without coldness. The woman leaned in, curious to know more. Body language tells you a lot here. If she asks with a soft tone, eyes steady on yours, and follows up with more questions about your children or grandchildren, she's genuinely exploring your emotional world. She wants to know whether you have space in your heart for her. Here are 4 strategies that show emotional strength. First, the balanced approach. You care about your family but aren't overly dependent on them. Second, the growth approach. You've learned from family challenges and grown wiser. Third, the wisdom approach. You share how family has shaped your understanding of love. Fourth, the open approach. You're willing to welcome new kinds of connection beyond family ties.